The cooking method of lychee. Lychee shrimp. Peel and remove the core of the lychee and soak it in light salt water. After removing the head of the shrimp, use a toothpick to pick out the shrimp line from the 2 or 3 sections on the back of the shrimp. Add an appropriate amount of salt, pepper, cornstarch, and half an egg white to the shrimp. Grab well and marinate for 10 minutes. Boil water in a pot, add an appropriate amount of salt and a few drops of oil, add asparagus and quickly blanch, then take it out and rinse with cold water. Then put the shrimp in it and smooth it until cooked. Cut asparagus and bell peppers into small pieces and prepare them. Add an appropriate amount of oil to the pot, then add ginger slices and shrimp and stir-fry together. Immediately add asparagus and chili peppers and stir-fry together. Add lychee soaked in light salt water. Add a small amount of water starch, with some salt added, to thicken the sauce, and harvest over high heat. Just load the tray. Domine lychee salmon soup. Boil pork bone soup for 1 hour until slightly white, adding all seasonings except for salt and garlic. Simmer for half an hour on low heat, until the flavors of ginger and lemongrass come out. Add garlic cloves, shiitake mushrooms, and chicken for mushrooms. Dry the salmon head with water, heat the pan with cold oil, and fry slowly over low heat. Fry on both sides for 5 minutes. Add lychees and salt to the soup, stir well, add fish heads, and simmer for 10 minutes over low heat. Lower the golden needle mushroom, cook for 1 minute, turn off the heat, and bring out the pot. Cut tofu into pieces, pour hot soup over tofu, then place other ingredients in containers one by one, garnish with cilantro. The cooked winter-een salmon soup is beautiful and clear in color, with sour and spicy appetizers. Osmanthus and lychee buckle. Wash and soak glutinous rice in advance. Drain and bring to a boil over high heat. Turn to low heat and steam in a steamer until cooked. Wash the virgin fruit and peel the lychee for later use. In the texture of the lychee skin, there is a fine line, which is the weakest part of the lychee skin. Pinch a mark with your fingernail along the fine line, and then gently squeeze it with your hand to easily crack the lychee shell. Take a peeled lychee and cut it in a circle with a knife from the upper 1/3 of the flesh. With a gentle tug of the hand, even with the lychee core, the lychee is divided into 2 halves. Half hollow, half cored. The virgin fruit is in half. Take the hollow half of the lychee and the smaller half of the tomato, and gently stuff the virgin fruit into the lychee. Take a small bowl and place the lychee section facing the bowl wall, placing it in sequence. Mix a little raisins with glutinous rice, tamp and smooth the center. Take another small plate, invert the small bowl onto the plate, and drizzle with osmanthus honey juice. Lychee kidney flour. Clean the pork loin slices to remove any excess fat, and use a knife to cut a cross-shaped knife into the skin. Usually, we handle it when we buy it from the market. Wash and cut the pork loin into small pieces, marinate with salt, cooking wine, and ginger for 10 minutes to remove the fishy smell. Mix white sugar, vinegar, soy sauce, cooking wine, monosodium glutamate, and wet starch into a soup. Heat up an oil pot and add scallions and garlic seeds until fragrant. Pour the sauce into the pickled pork loin. Stir fry a few times. Pour in the prepared soup and stir fry for a few times. After the soup boils, add scallions and start cooking. No need to cover the pot cover throughout the entire process to prevent the waste from aging. Lychee is peeled and wrapped around the waste lace, which is both aesthetically pleasing and can be used as an aftertaste fruit. Lychee crystal zongzi. Material preparation. Boil zongzi leaves in boiling water and rinse them with cold water. This method can increase the toughness of zongzi leaves and prevent them from cracking when bundled. Peel the lychee and remove the core for later use. Put the washed raisins into the lychees. Soak the sago in water, just wet it and then filter the water dry. Try to mix the desired color with jam. Add a little salad oil and sago to make zongzi more crystal clear and less sticky. Shimi is different from glutinous rice. After cooking, glutinous rice expands, so the rope becomes tighter and tighter. But under the same conditions, simi will not, so it must be tied tightly. When steaming, cook over high heat until steam comes out, then turn to low heat, and continue cooking for 20 minutes. Do not immediately cool, and simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. Fragrant and crispy lychee pills. Add salt, soy sauce, chicken essence, scallions, and ginger to the meat filling and stir well until strong. Rinse and remove the skin and pit of lychees. Wipe the lychee flesh dry. Stuff the meat filling into the lychee. Cover the lychee stuffed with meat with dry starch on the surface. Wrap another layer of egg mixture. Dip the surface with bread crumbs. Put it into a 50% hot oil pot and fry until slightly yellow. Fry again until golden brown, remove and drain. Fried cheese and lychee balls. Peel the shell of lychee, use a toothpick to peel off the part connecting the lychee flesh and lychee kernels, and select the lychee kernels. Peel the shell of lychee, use a toothpick to peel off the part connecting the lychee flesh and lychee kernels, and select the lychee kernels. Fill the position of lychee kernel with mozzarella cheese. Evenly wrap the lychee with starch, and add some starch to seal the mouth of the lychee. Wrap another layer of egg liquid. Next, put the lychee wrapped in egg liquid into the bread crumb, and evenly wrap it with the bread crumb. Heat the oil in a hot pot until the chopsticks will bubble. Add lychees and fry until golden brown. Lychee chicken balls. Use a knife to remove the chicken leg meat along the bone. Add ginger and chop it into paste. It can also be processed into paste using a food mixer. Put it into a bowl, add salt, pepper, cooking wine, oyster sauce, a little bit, and other seasoning. Stir evenly in one direction. Take out fresh lychees and peel off the outer skin, carefully removing the fruit stones from them. Insert the seasoned chicken filling into the lychee, and also handle the other lychee balls. Bring the water to a boil in the pot and steam over high heat for 8 minutes. Install into the disc. Fresh peach and lychee popsicle. Main raw materials. Peel and stone peaches and lychees, and cut them into small pieces. Add white sugar to all ingredients, and put them into the cooking machine. Beat until the fruit is crushed into granules. Load the popsicle mold. Freeze and shape in the refrigerator. Fresh peach and lychee popsicle. Crispy lychee wrapped in coarse grains. First, peel the lychee and slowly remove its core with a knife. Because steamed yam and pumpkin are relatively simple, we won't explain them anymore. Add the steamed yam and pumpkin puree to honey, and stir them together. Stuff the prepared pumpkin yam puree into the lychee from which the lychee seeds are removed. Dip lychee with starch and then put it into the beaten egg mixture. Roll the egg mixture well. Finally, wrap the bread crumbs evenly in the bread crumbs. Heat the peanut oil in the pot to 60% heat, then soak the lychee wrapped in bread crumbs in the oil and fry for 3 minutes. Once the outer skin is crispy, remove it and control the oil. Place it on a plate.